Guys, welcome back to 5 Minutes of the Tech. Welcome back to 5 Minutes of the Technician. My name's Daniel. Thanks for tuning in. So today I want to show you how to adjust your Fingerbit alignment. It's actually not a crazy process, but if you don't feel comfortable navigating around in some of the parameters for your Alphacam, please just call us. Honestly, we can help you. It's not a big deal, but watch this video anyway so you see how to run the Fingerbit test. Okay, so run a test and then let us know how much it needs to be adjusted if you don't want to make the adjustment on your own. If you're comfortable making the adjustment on your own, by all means, watch the rest of the video, give it a shot, let me know how it goes. All right, so let's get into this. So this is just a demonstration. So if I go to a top view, it might explain what's going on more here. So we've got a Fingerbit in this corner, and my Fingerbit is cutting into the outside of where my sink should be. This happens, and on the bottom, it's got a lot of material left, like 1/8 of an inch rather than a cool 32nd. So what we need to do is we need to shift our Fingerbits. So let's back up here. So one thing that we need to think about is we're moving the Fingerbit, and the blade is stationary. So we're actually moving the Fingerbit and bringing it to the blade. So when we move the Fingerbit, we're moving it in either X negative, X positive, or Y positive, or Y negative. Okay? So Y up and down, X left and right. So if you go out to the saw and your part comes out and it's cutting like this, we're going to say, okay, this Fingerbit, this mill, we got to shift it and bring it to the right. And then this one down here, we got to bring it down, because you should have about a 32nd, not an 1/8 or whatever this is. I think it's like an 1/8. So at any rate, so we're shifting the Fingerbit. Okay, so this is how I do my Fingerbit test. This is the way I was taught. I think a lot of the technicians do it this way, but there is a lot of other ways that you can do it. You don't necessarily need to do it this way, but I'll show you, or I'll walk you through what I did. So this is a 20 by 20 rectangle. I did a 1-inch offset from the edge. So I just went offset, put a distance in as 1, and then for what geometry, that'll do all 4 sides. Then click OK and do your 1-inch offset. Okay, these are 3-inch fillets. Okay, so fillet, individual, pick the 2 corners, and there we go. Go ahead and hit cut parts. So for me, I like to adjust my cut depth because I almost always have to do this more than once. So if you click on cut parts, then go to cut parameters and navigate to cut depth here. Go ahead and set that at like a 1/2 inch. So negative 0.5 is going to be a 1/2 inch cut depth for the entire project. Go ahead and click OK, and then go ahead and run your cut parts. After you do that, everything will cut only a 1/2 inch deep. So you can do multiple tests without trashing like a full slab to get your Fingerbit aligned. You could just do one little section type of thing. Okay. So that's how I would run the Fingerbit test. Okay, so this is, now that I've hit cut parts, this should toolpath correctly, and you can see what this is supposed to look like. So this is supposed to have a 32nd, so 0.03, so it's a little less than a 32nd, right there. So you should have a little stock to be left in the corners. Okay, so that's what we're kind of looking for out on the saw. Okay, so let's say we get it, and it looked like before, and it was off. It was cutting to the left and it's cutting too high up. So what we need to do is we need to adjust the post. Okay, so it's not in Alphacam. So what I want you to do is actually, if you haven't ran this test, go ahead and pause the video, run this test, and then come back, watch the rest of the video, because I'm going to show you how to adjust the post next. All right. Okay, so now let's go ahead and close out of Alphacam. Okay, so go ahead and close, save your drawing, whatever you need to do. I want you to close out of all your windows of Alphacam. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go to a File Explorer window. Let me just start a fresh one. So go File Explorer. You're going to scroll down and go to this PC. This PC. Okay, now you're going to go to your C drive. Okay, so C, click on Alphacam. So I want you to right click, send to, and then go compressed zipped folder. Boom. Yep. It says, do you want to place the zipped folder on the desktop? Yes. Okay, so what we're doing right now, this is creating a complete backup of your Alphacam. Okay, I'm having you do this because if you're going to be navigating around in the parameters of Alphacam, you know, the post settings, I mean, if you change one thing, I mean, like, it could take us a little while to figure it out. You know, like, honestly, like, it's going to be pretty hard to figure out, you know, because if you look at this thing, it's a text document with tons and tons of little things in it. So it's best to make a backup in case you need to revert back. It's just for good measure. I mean, this takes all of but a minute, but for me, I'm going to continue. So let's go ahead and open up Alphacam. Go ahead and click on Lycom DAT. Okay, so if you're running standard Stone, you're going to use S posts. Okay, so you're going to go to S posts. That's Stone posts. Okay, if you're using Alphacam router, you're going to go Alphacam R posts. So router posts. So me, I'm on Stone, so I'm going to click on that. And here is the post. So Sasso Mechanica _ text. Okay, so go ahead and right click on that. Go to open with, and then if you have the ability, go to Alpha Edit. If not, you can just open it in Notepad. That's fine. So for me, I'm going to open it in Alpha Edit. It's basically just like a Notepad thing. I don't know. So let's go ahead and explode that. So for your units, mine is in millimeters. Okay, most of the newer machines are going to be in millimeters. If you have an older machine, it might be in inches. Okay, but most are going to be in millimeters. So look at the units and then look at the values. So like mine's like 83. If yours was in inches, this might be like 1 or like 2, you know, not like 83 or 140. It'll be like a really small number. So at any rate, so we're going to have to convert all of the adjustments. We're going to have to put them into millimeters to get them to work. Okay, so let's open up a calculator. So let's say in Alphacam, we wanted to shift that Fingerbit, I think, to the right, 1/16. Okay, so let's go 1/16. Boom. Okay, now we're going to convert it into millimeters. So we're going to go times 25.4. Okay, so that's the scale factor to put this into millimeters. Okay, there we go. So 1.58 millimeters. Okay, so if you look at this, we have shift for mil. Okay, so that's this one here. Shift for mil, adjust X position of Fingerbit. Okay, so this is for X. Okay, so shift for mil, adjust for X. Okay, machine offset. So the one right below it, adjust for your Y position of the Fingerbit. Okay, so shift for mil is for X, machine offset is for the Y axis. Okay, so moving on. So we're going to move our Fingerbit to the right. Okay, so we're going to add to our X position. Okay, so we're going to add to that. So I'm going to take this value and I'm going to add it to that one. Okay, so I'm going to go plus 83.4965. Okay, then we are left with 85, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to paste it in here. Or you can type it out, either way. So there's that. Okay, so now if I remember right, we are going to move our Fingerbit down a 16th as well. Okay, so we're going to move it negative in Y. So that's to go down. So we're going to go negative in the Y axis to shift our Fingerbit downward. Okay, so let's go ahead and close out of that. Let's go. So we do 1/16 times 25.4. That puts it in millimeters. Okay, so now we're going to subtract this from this. Okay, so we're going to go negative 139.0 5. Okay, make sure to add your negative symbol to this if you're going to be subtracting from this, because we're going to make this more negative. Okay, so now we've got 141. Okay, copy, and let's drop it in here. Make sure that you leave this this negative symbol. Okay, it's very important. If you don't, your Fingerbit will be like 100 inches off, or sorry, 140 millimeters off the next time you try it. So just make sure to leave that negative symbol there. All right, so let's go ahead and paste that in, and boom, that's it. We've made our first adjustment on the Fingerbit. Let's close out of this. Okay, save changes, yes, and overwrite, yes. Okay, so now at this point you would open up Alphacam again. So I got Alphacam Standard Stone here. All right, let me open up my old file here. So what you would do after you've already run this, what you're going to do, and you've made an adjustment, you're going to purge your cuts. Okay, and now typically for me, I'll just do like a 1-inch offset, or you could do like a 1 1/4 inch offset, or 1 1/2, or even 2 inch. You're gonna go on the inside of this. You're gonna kind of just make this smaller and smaller. Typically, I don't like to go any lower than like a 12-inch square, or even like a 10-inch square would be like the very bare minimum. You start getting too small and it's just like pretty hard to see, or the Fingerbit wants to go all the way around type of thing. So, okay, so there's that. Let's insert our 3-inch fillets, because as you reduce this size, your radiuses will get smaller. So there's 3-inch fillets, boom. Go ahead and hit cut parts. My thickness, or my cut depth, is still set at a 1/2 inch. Cut depth still at a 1/2 inch. Go ahead and hit cut parts. Boom. Okay, so now you would run this one next. What some guys will do is they'll turn off these cuts on the outsides, and you could even delete the ones in these little finger bits in the corner, because they're not really telling us much. And if you don't want to plunge your table a million times, you could turn off the plunge cuts as well. When here, turn off all your plunge cuts. I missed that one. Boop. There we go. And that's it. Run that test. Try it again. And then adjust your post. Keep doing it until you get it. That is the Fingerbit Alignment. So it's not terribly complicated, but it can be a little bit back and forth. On a new saw, it could take me, a couple tries to get it for sure. For someone who's never done it before, I mean, be prepared to probably do it like 5 or 6 times. Yeah, it can be a little bit of a process, but that's why I set the cut depth to like a 1/2 inch, is to kind of speed up the process. What you can even do is set it to like a 1/4 inch and speed it up even more. So you can do stuff like that, kind of make it go a little bit faster. But that is how we adjust the Fingerbit mill alignment. So to recap, it's in S posts. Make sure you make a backup before you start changing too many things around, because if you call me and you didn't make a backup, I'm gonna be like, dude, what the heck, man? It was in the first minute of my video. Come on. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. All right. Have a good day. Thanks.